What is up, guys? It's the Messy Hair Sound Alchemist here once again with...
Gersh1 wearing a hat.
Yeah, the hat kind of threw me off a little bit because, I mean, it's just there. We don't acknowledge it, but now we did.
Right.
But yeah, welcome to another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. Also, we have super thanks. If you guys like the videos we put out, if it's entertaining to you and you guys want to support the channel, hit us up with a super thanks. You will get a guaranteed answer on that super thanks question, or you can just send it and say, hey, thanks.
Mm-hmm. So, we like to say thank you, Louis Doyer, for your $2 super thanks support. His question is, wow, thanks for picking my question. Gracias, hermanos. What do you think the Tau would do if they captured a hive city? I wonder if they would improve everyone's quality of life. I wonder if they'd reverse the servitors back to normal. What do you think would happen? Thanks.
That's a really good question because it happens a lot, right? Well, not a lot, but it's bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the Tau, whenever they take over some type of planet, are not like your other factions where they would either like completely enslave or completely wipe out the native inhabitants, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
With the Tau, I think they would try to incorporate humans from the hive city into the greater good, and they're called Guevesa, right? Like the military aspects of these guys.
Yes, for sure. Depending on the planet's like atmosphere and stuff like that, they could just create terraforming and create domes where certain people would live. So it wouldn't be a cramped like hive spire and Necromunda like subterranean tunnels and stuff like that. They would definitely improve the quality of life there because they're trying to win over these people to become Guevesa for the greater good.
And the key part about that improvement is the fact that like it's being improved because they don't want what is it called? Rebellions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where like you kind of saw how the Imperium reacted during the Unification War when they would conquer a planet and the planet would be like, you guys aren't like, the Imperium isn't actually helping, it's making it like worse, or nothing has changed, we're going to rebel against the Imperium. Then they would have like wars of pacification.
Yes.
The Tau don't really have that, right? Like the Tau know that like, okay, we have to improve their life somehow so that they don't turn around and try to kill us.
Right. A good way of seeing this is if you guys are watching the Andor series on Disney Plus, the Empire is doing exactly what the Imperium would do. Subjugate a nation or a world or a city, whatever it is, and basically force their own rules on the people. If the people rebel, clearly there's going to be an iron fist to fight back. Now with the Tau, it's the complete opposite. Bring them in through kindness and prosperity, or at least make it seem like it's that.
Right, yeah. Because there is that other element of, like, you need to accept the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, the wiggle room is not, like, enough.
Yeah.
Like, you're still going to get got. So.
Right. And that's just to counteract the whole aspect of a lot of people saying, oh, the Tau are the good guys in 40K. They don't fit with the grim, dark aesthetic. That's just the front. There's layers behind it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they also have castes.
Mm-hmm.
So they separate, and a human in the Tau Empire is not going to be as powerful as like a Tau ethereal caste or something like that. So,
right.
Yeah.
So thank you for your super thanks. That was a really interesting, thought-provoking question.
Next question comes from Aria816. Have you guys ever done a video about Attica Centurius from the Legion of the Damned?
I really want to cover more Legion of the Damned, but I have this feeling that they're going to come out with new lore or a new lineup for these models because they're so old and it's so vague as to who they are. Are they the Firehawks? Are they some type of Army of the Light type Space Marine that the Emperor is pushing out? And it's like, I really want to cover it, and I probably will cover it, but like I really want new information to come out, and maybe we'll get that in 10th edition.
It does suck whenever, like, so for example, right now with the squats, like we created a 40 facts video on squats a long time ago. Completely pointless now.
Yeah, they completely changed it.
I mean, it would be nice, like, if you ever wonder, what squats were like back in 5th edition, 4th edition, you can look at that video, but, like, for the most part, no, the video's, like, not even canon anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
This one's by Steven Rogenkamp. Hey guys, I love your channel so much, and I've been listening to you guys for about 2 years now. This is my first ever question, and I hope y'all can answer it. But would it be cool to see in the near future a video game of some sort where you can put your Warhammer figurines onto a platform and you can play your unit on screen and stuff? Kind of like Skylanders. Love your channel so much and keep up the good work. Love listening to y'all every day.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the support, man. It's really nice to hear that, like, you know, every day you're listening and you've been watching and all that for 2 years. But yeah, definitely comment some more. It's really nice to interact with you guys and hear, you know, your thoughts.
Yeah. Now, as far as your question, I think eventually, yes, they will. Because, like, every single tabletop or card game has done that, right? Like,
Right. Magic has Magic Arena. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a plethora of video games and stuff like that. The closest thing we've gotten to something like this is the Tabletop Simulator. Now, it's not specifically for Warhammer 40K, but there are versions of it that let you play out the game, the tabletop game, in a simulated computer-like arena.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I believe GW has been trying to, like, you know, squash it and, like, bury it with, like, lawsuits and stuff like that, cease and desist, but there's people that are still trying to make something like this happen.
Yeah. I mean, like, the thing that sucks too is, like, 40K is a group thing. Like, so, yeah, it would be awesome to just sit at home and, like, play with the minis and stuff like that.
Especially when COVID happened, like, you couldn't get games in, you couldn't see other people, and this is the way to bypass all of that.
But then you miss out on so much of the rest of the hobby, and I think that's the important part of, like, collecting, painting, hanging out with your friends, and all that kind of stuff. You can, if you somehow, like the Amiibo minis or whatever, if you did that, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But even then,
even Disney had their fingers in there too with, like, the Disney Infinity stuff. You could play, like, Star Wars and Marvel and all this stuff.
Yeah, but for me, like, personally, as somebody who played 40K ever since, like, we were in fucking, like, elementary school.
Yeah. Fifth grade, I think.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. It sucks to be like, oh, damn, this is moving on to computers, or it could move on to computers, and the tabletop is going to kind of go away.
Yeah, I feel like it never will, just because of, like, I feel most people, when they play tabletop games, they like the camaraderie of having the person right there next to them.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a while before GW jumps on this, because, like you were saying, it's going to cut into the miniature sales, the paint sales, the glue sales, people going to the hobby shop to play and spend money there. Because when you take all that out, it's a lot easier to just turn on your TV, turn on your Xbox or whatever, and just play a game of Warhammer 40K without having to spend 500 plus hours, $500 to actually get the game going.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
Because it would be a good way to start.
Yeah.
Like, before buying an Eldar army, I want to play test it. Let me see how the game feels with these models and rules. But
that's true, yeah. Because I do feel like I had to play my army configuration like 4 or 5 times before I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Right.
And then, like, switching like 3-4 units in an army list, that makes a big difference. The army plays completely different.
Right, exactly.
And I think, like, if we take that away, it just kind of, or I guess it would be nice to have, like, you play it out first on the computer and then later on transfer it over to the tabletop. But
right, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Good question, though.
Very good question.
Thought-provoking. Next question.
This one is by Isaac Hahn. So Necron technology is the most advanced in the Milky Way, but what's stopping them from advancing it even further? Primaris Necrons, for example.
The Great Sleep was a big reason why they didn't progress it, and you're starting to see it now. And I think that's what what is it called? Not Star Tide Nexus.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Not Cicatrix Maledictum.
The Pariah. No.
Yeah, Pariah Nexus.
Pariah Nexus. Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're seeing with the Pariah Nexus. It's an advancement on Necron technology. You have all these cryptechs and the cryptechs coming out and, like, testing new technology. But the reason it wasn't progressing is because they were asleep.
Right. Yeah. Can't do much when you're sleeping, and for millennia, to the point where people are building civilizations on top of you.
Right. Yeah. Contrary to popular belief, because I remember. I don't know if you ever got this, but somebody said, like, listen to a different language while you sleep and you actually, like, learn the thing. I don't think that's true. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, you have a test tomorrow, just listen to this dude talk about, you know, geothermal dynamics and you'll ace your test.
Yeah, you'll know it. No, you don't. You're asleep.
Yeah.
Next question.
This one is by Anra. Do orcs sleep?
Sometimes. They don't necessarily have to. They can go prolonged periods of time without sleep because they feed off of, or they get nutrition off of war. Like they're built for that. But yeah, every now and then they need to recharge and they take naps if they don't get killed.
Yeah. On the topic of Necrons and Tau and all this stuff, Simon T says, if it came down to the Necrons versus the Tau, who's winning? The Necrons.
Yeah, the Tower, an infant race.
Very much so. Not just that, but they still haven't perfected faster than light travel. Also, they haven't gotten a large population enough to sustain massive losses and keep the war engine going. And not just that, but I mean, the Necrons have like weapons and technology that defy physics. They de-atomize you. They can slip through time. Like, how do you even fight something like that?
You don't.
Yeah, and that's why the Necrons are really, really strong.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Ask again, and we'll try to get to them. If not, there is the super thanks. Thank you for the support with the super thanks, and yeah.
Yeah, keep the questions coming, guys. It's been the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan,
and peace.
Oh, I used to put my freedom first in any